Hello friends, welcome back. I hope you've seen the previous episodes of this series where I have explained how you set up your Android Studio and the rest of the development environment for building the mobile apps. Now let's start building our Harry Potter app. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a foundation project, which is the one we already talked about. It takes care of the server side handling of the user logins. So we invoke the app wizard, which is going to take a single file, which is minimal.js. We download it in the last episode. I showed you how to do it. And then we say load. It's a JSON file. As you can see, you can browse it. It doesn't have much, just the default functionality that we need. And then we say continue. Then we see it's creating those tables, generating the APIs, doing some other generic work. And there we have the entire application has been generated. These are the tables. You can see them in the schema. Then there are business flows. Here you can see these are some of the Java methods that it uses. These are web services, APIs for basically fetching and saving the data, and these are some of the routines. So this is pretty much our basic application, and after we've generated it, we do a deploy. Okay. So our foundation project has been created, and now we are ready to start a blank project, which is going to be our Harry Potter app. Okay, so let me just walk you through some of the parts of the schema on the left hand side. A lot of these things have to do with the server side handling, the APIs, etc., like the session. Cookies, the request and the response nodes. These are used for managing the communication with the APIs, properties file, etc. This is where much of our business logic goes. So we come here. The first thing we do is we create a web application, which is right here. Most of the other stuff is for server side entities. Just pick the web application. Okay, now so this is the starting point of our app, and we have to provide some parameters here. First one is that we have to give it a URL, and that URL must start with WA for web application. The target for right now, we will pick mobile because we're going to build a mobile app, and we will give it a mnemonic, short name, which can be the market or the brand name. The opening page of the app, we don't have any pages, so we'll leave it blank, but we will, after we've created the pages, we'll come back and put a value in here. Description is something that you can put if you want. And the next section here is configuring how the logins are managed. Okay, so first thing is we pick a foundation project which we just created. It's called minimal. We pick that. Login type is B2C, which means subscribers and consumers, they can come and auto subscribe. Session, this is to do with the user session management. So we have to give a unique value. Let's give it Harry Potter. Now the login text. So generally, every app have their own convenience. They want to call it login, or they want to call it sign in. So we will call it, let's say, sign in. Logout text is, we will call it sign out. The registration text is, we will pick sign up. Okay, so here, what we want to do is, do we want the users to create a username? Probably not. Do we want to need an email? We have some options here. Let's say we need to get their email. There is also an option if you want to verify their emails before they can register. We can pick. Let's just go with the simpler yes. Similarly, for the phone number, we can say yes. If we picked with verification for any one of these, then we would have to provide a service. We have to build a service and provide the name here, which will do the job of sending the OTP or the registration code to the phone number or the email. So right now, let's just skip. If you want any additional registration fields, we don't. That's good enough. Then we also have a sign in using Google and sign in using Facebook, which if you want to configure, you can provide the keys and the codes, and system will automatically generate the login options. This is PWA related. Let's skip it for the time being, and I think we are pretty much set. We will just come back and give the opening page later on. And right now, let's do a save. Okay, so now we have the app here. Now we start putting content into the app. So let's start with the app page. And this is our home page. We can give it a label. This obviously is open to everybody, no login required. We just do a save. Perhaps we can just go back and give this opening page name right away so that we don't forget it later on. Okay, now let's come back to our page and we create an app view. App view is where we display contents. Okay, so let's create a view. We call it the home view. The layout is important. Here we have various options: block, tabs, grid, column, row. In this case, it's a column. Our home page, if you remember, it looked like just 3 lines stacked one on top of the other. So it's a layout column. Everything else is we can leave blank, doesn't apply. To save. Now in this view, we're going to add 3 app elements. Let's go to the edit mode. Now here we can see this is a view. It's a very crude layout visualizer. Okay, so this is the home view. Here I can do a plus and I can add an app element. This is welcome line. It's label value. Let's see. That's pretty much it. We can pick some style values. There are various style options. How you want to style. Let's make it large text, and we can provide other properties. And click save. Then we create another app element, which is built using. It's a label, and the value is. We can just leave everything as default. Then we create another app element. This is the ZOAPIIO link. This is of the type button. Okay, maybe it's a good time to walk through all these element types that are available. You can use label, text, which are display fields, input, text area, these are input fields. Password, some of these things are all used for inputting, but they behave differently in terms of what keyboard is used and etc. Password and some validations, etc. They change for each input type. You can use a select, which is a drop down. You can use radio. A lot of these options are available. We'll see these when we build our first form. And so right now this is our button, or let's just say it's the button. So and its label, its value is Let's change the style to that of link. Change the size to large. Let's see. Okay. So right now we've done is we've just created a very simple view which has got 3 labels. There is no interactivity, although we've created a button. What happens when you click the button is nowhere specified, so it pretty much behaves like a label. And I think we can get started with the, okay, before that let's also create our navigation. So we're creating a main navigation, which means it will apply to all pages. Do we want a navigation bar on top? Yes, and we want it to be fixed. Do we want a bottom navigation bar? Yes, and it should be fixed. And we do a save. Then let's add a link to it, which is a command. So here we will say name is home. On the top nav bar, we want to, let's say, put it in the menu. On the bottom nav bar, let's put it on the left. This is home. Action is load page, and we can provide the name of the page. This is home. So what we've done is we've created a command which we can place wherever we want, on the top nav bar or the bottom nav bar. And we can say what that command should do. Pretty much everything will be handled by the system, because what we provided so far is all that is needed. It's automatically handled. One thing that's remaining is an icon. We are using the material design icon library. You can browse that on the web, pick a name if you want, and if you leave it blank and default, the icon will be generated, will be used. So let's just leave it blank and then do a save. Okay, so we've created a nav button as well, which is the minimum your application needs, which means now we have a page and we have a navigation command, and let's generate this and see what we get. Okay, this will be our hello world application. So first thing we do is we do a deploy. Deploy means we are saving the changes to the server. Okay, in this case there is actually no, okay, I think we missed something. We go to the sessions and change some value here, which is JWT payload. Okay. We have missed something else. We need to change. Okay, that's because we have not given this project a name. Okay, I think this is fine. Okay, so this project has been deployed on the server. You may be wondering, why did we deploy it to the server? This doesn't have any server functionality, and you're right. This project doesn't need to be deployed on the server yet, because we've not added any server-side functionality. But we have deployed it to make sure we don't lose the changes. Deploying it on the server is also a way of saving our project. Next time we come, we can just start from where we left off. Okay. So if this application has been built, now we are ready to do our generate Flutter project. If everything goes well, we should get an app which has a home page as we have described, but no interactivity. But before we do that, we will break here and resume it in the next tutorial because we need to configure the download listener. So let's just do a break here. I'll see you in the next episode.